Hi parents and students, it's Mrs. Schultz again, and I'm back with you today to show you how to use another set of activities from your packets that you received from the school. What we're going to learn how to do today is play a barrier game, and on my board are the pieces that we will need, and we're going to talk about those first. So what you will find in your packet are these pieces. You will find two identical game boards. There will be two players for this game, so you need a game board and pieces for player 1 and player 2. The game board is right here in the middle. The pieces are at the bottom, and on top are the directions in both English and Spanish. I have also included something that is very familiar to your students. It is a reference sheet that has barrier game vocabulary. In their teacher's classroom, it was a big giant poster that was in color. But for our packets, I've reduced it down to a workable sheet for home. On it are words, prepositions, that will help your child to give directions, because the barrier game we're going to play today involves giving directions. And we'll talk about that next. The last item that you will need to provide for your child is a barrier. And what a barrier is something that will block the view of player 1 and player 2 while they're playing. So it can be a cereal box turned sideways. That would block the view so that this person cannot see this person's board. Or any box, a shoe box. This is an old box I had outside. Just something that can stand on its own and block the view of each player, okay? That makes it a barrier game. Okay, so the next thing to do is to prepare for the game is you will need to cut out the pieces at the bottom. I've already cut this set of pieces out. When you see it in your packet, it'll look more like this. So I've got my scissors, I'm ready to cut out the pieces. If you're allowing your child to use the scissors themselves, and some of these big ones, these are the only ones I have at my house, please make sure you supervise so that they are safe. If they have small ones, that's great. But you just cut off this whole bottom strip, and then like I did over here, cut them into individual pieces. Now we're ready to play the game. I've enlisted the help of two characters I had at my house. So Red Riding Hood and her grandma are going to help us see how to play this game. And I used my cereal box as the barrier. So here's Red's game board, here's Grandma's game board. The cereal box keeps them from being able to see each other's boards. Here are Red's pieces, and here are Grandma's pieces. Red Riding Hood is going to be player 1. She is giving the directions. So above here, I have her barrier game vocabulary poster handy, so she can look up there if she needs some special words in order to help Grandma understand better. And also, Grandma as the listener is also may need to ask questions to clarify what Red is asking her to do, and that's fine. The listener can ask questions to make sure they feel like they're following the directions properly. All right, all of that is great language. So Red makes her choice. She's going to start with the butterfly, and she's going to place it right here above this window, without talking, of course. Now, if there are 7 pieces, if you feel like 7 is too many, you can use 3 or 4 pieces for the first game and then see how it goes. There are 7, so you have choices, but you don't have to use them all. So we'll play with about 3 pieces right now, and she's put the butterfly on. She makes her decision to put a kite, okay, and then she makes another decision about, she chooses this little boy who is gardening, and she's going to make a decision on where he is going to go. Okay, once her pieces are on, she is ready to give directions to Grandma, and Grandma is going to do her best to follow those directions. The object of the game is to make these game boards match by just using words to tell your partner how to do that, by giving those great directions. All right, Red, go ahead. So Red says to Grandma, Grandma, pick up your kite, and I want you to put your kite in the sky above the trees on the left side of the clouds. So Grandma picks up her kite and she follows those directions. She puts it in the sky on the left side above the trees. Now I always tell students of school, when you are the receiver of directions, a great way to check your work is just repeat back what you heard the first player telling you to do. So if I were Grandma, I might say this: Red, I put the kite in the sky above the trees on the left side. I'm ready for the next direction. Okay, Grandma, pick up the boy who is gardening and put him in the very front of the picture on the right side. He is on the road, right in front. Okay. So Grandma picks up the picture of the boy who is gardening, follows those directions, and then repeats what Red says so she can check. Red, I picked up the boy who was gardening. I put him right in the front of the road on the right side of the house. Good job, Grandma. It's always nice to be encouraging. Last one. Grandma, pick up the butterfly picture and put it above the window on the house. Grandma picks up the butterfly picture, but there are 3 windows on this house. Grandma needs some clarification, so she asked Red, Red, there are 3 windows. Which one do you want me to put it above? So Red needs to clarify. Put it above the window that has the roof that's shaped like a triangle, and there's a bush under the window. Okay. Grandma takes the picture and she now can find the correct window because Red gave her better directions. When you are all done, you lift your barrier and you show your picture, and if they match, that's awesome. You played the game correctly as best you could, and it's time to switch. So this time we would pull off all the pieces and Grandma could give directions, and Red would put the pieces on the way she is told to do so. If it doesn't come out perfectly, then you can have that quick conversation of, what could you have said to help me put it in the spot better? It's a really fun game. It takes about 5 minutes, and so much good language must be used in order for directions to be able to be followed. I hope you enjoy playing it with your child. I have 2 thoughts to share with you. First, try playing this game in your child's home language. Translate the Barrier Game vocabulary sheet into your home language. And then help your child to strengthen his first language by using these words in giving the directions. Developing your child's first language will transfer and strengthen their ability to speak English. This time at home is a great opportunity to truly help your child become bilingual. Second, in your next packet, you will see another barrier game. Same directions, but a different game board and different pieces. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and enjoy playing barrier games with your child.